Hello and welcome to the Diana Falzone Show here on Paltalk.com. I'm Diana, welcome to the room. For many of you out there who might be techno fans, dance fans, we have DJ Louie Divito. He is world renowned, world famous. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Diana.
And congratulations on your new album dropping last week.
Last week.
It's pretty exciting.
Very exciting. It debuted top 10 on the iTunes dance charts, so I'm excited about that.
That's really good. And where can people pick that up?
You could pick it up at any Best Buy, Walmart, or Target, or if you're into the iTunes thing, it's on iTunes, and you can even pick it up on djlouiedivito.com also.
Awesome. I actually have one of my friends here at Paltalk, a shout out to Matt. He was saying that he thinks you're an epic DJ and that he was a really big fan of your Sweet Caroline remix.
Oh, epic. I like that word. I'm epic.
You're epic.
The Sweet Caroline remix, actually, that brought me a lot of stuff. I actually DJ'd Ronnie the Limo Driver's block party on Howard Stern.
Oh, really?
Based on that remix. And then after the party, apparently I got too drunk at the party. And, I thought it was going to be strippers and stuff. There was strippers there, but there was little kids there too.
Okay.
Yeah,
where is it the strippers' kids?
No.
It's like stripper daycare?
No, it was like, stripper daycare. That's a good idea. We should start that.
That's a very entrepreneurial
Louie
idea.
and Diana's strippers daycare.
Yes, I'm sure my mother and your mother would be very proud of us.
Yes, hopefully my mother's not watching it.
Yeah. I want to ask, being a DJ is a very glamorous profession. I always picture DJs with their headphones on and being in Ibiza or somewhere cool where they have legions of women just all around and they're like, yeah, I'm just spitting the beats. I'm just having a good time. But what is it really like having the lifestyle of being a DJ?
Well, that is actually, I've done that many of times because I've been to Ibiza 3 times.
Wow, okay.
I'm going back next summer. But you know what? It's all about the music. So that is it.
Is it really all about the music?
Well, listen, the girls are secondary, but the music is first. Absolutely. I'm doing a big show tomorrow night at Chris Michael's in Woodbridge, New Jersey. So any fans want to come by and check me out live in the area, definitely come down. It's going to be a great evening. But I feel it through the music. I mean, anything after that is just, it's just the icing on the cake, the cherry on top. But it's definitely about the music. Like yesterday I still purchase all my music. I know a lot of people get their music from blogs and share sites, but
I purchase all my music too.
Oh, perfect.
I do, always on iTunes. I do it the right way, no music piracy.
Yes, absolutely not. But for house music, I usually go on beatport.com. I just spent, about $150 on new music for tomorrow night. So once I get into that realm of getting there, listen, the drinks, the girls, that's great. It's a party, but having those headphones on and spitting for everyone watching, creating memories for everyone that's going to be in that room. That's why I DJ. It's about the music. I never thought in my wildest dreams I would become a famous DJ and sell millions of CDs. I did it because I love it, and I still do it because I love it. So I've been spinning for 18 years now. Yes, I'm old, but I'm.
But you started when you were 10.
Yes, 10. I was actually 5 when I started. But I still do it.
You look really good for being all of 18?
But I still get excited doing it. So getting in that DJ booth, it's the equivalent of taking center field for the New York Yankees. Every time you run in that field, I give it my best, and I still love to do it. And the same thing, I'm not saying I'm Derek Jeter, but he still has that pride. When he runs in that field, he's going to give it his best, and I equate it to the DJ booth. Every show, I want to hit a home run. I want to make sure that everyone walks out of there like, wow, we had the time of our lives.
With DJ sets, you guys can play for up in 8 hours, right? Do you have breaks? How does that work?
Well, what the funny thing is, there are no breaks. You go up there until the music is done at the end of the night. You're not leaving that booth. So make sure if you're drinking, you have to hold it in. Yes,
really?
Yes, I've held it in a few times.
Wow.
It's not fun trying to going in the bathroom for 3 hours.
I have another business proposal for you. How about DJ catheters?
Yes.
That could be very sexy. The catheter could have a neon light in it.
Right.
So instead it lights up when you use it, and it could be more techno,
Absolutely.
A techno catheter for DJs.
Yes. But you know what? The some big rooms and DJ booths I've been in, they actually have bathrooms in the DJ booth. Which
really?
Yeah. So
That's awesome.
If I ever opened up my own club, I'd make sure there's a bathroom and a bed in the DJ booth.
Hey! I don't like this.
Well, if it's an 8-hour set, I might have to take a nap.
Is that
See,
what you mean?
I was thinking nap. You were thinking something else.
Oh, right, sure. Because I'm the one with the dirty mind out there. I get it. I want to ask for some of our viewers out there who aspire to be a DJ, how does one actually do it? Because it isn't like you just take records, walk into a club, knock on the door, and be like, hey, can I spin for you? It's a very competitive business.
Well, now with technology and with DJ programs called Serato and Tractor, anybody could DJ because the programs mix the music for you. I mean, you
Does that tick you off?
A little bit. I still use CDs. I still, mix everything live. And there's a debate on some really big DJs out there. I won't, name any names because I'm not like that. But there's a few really big DJs out there who actually don't even mix. Everything is already pre-recorded.
Really?
And to me, that takes away, like, why is that person there? And granted, they're great producers and they're known more for their producing than their spinning. But the problem is now, with technology, and that's a problem with a lot of up-and-coming guys, you could take playlists from other DJs, you have this Serato, and it beat mixes everything for you.
Well, I had a friend who was, or is a DJ, and he actually needed to go to the restroom. So he said, hey, you want to be a guest DJ? And I was like, I don't even know what that means.
Right.
And I got up there, and I was able to, like, scratch some records. I was able to, it was all pre-programmed, so I had to just press a button to move it.
Absolutely.
But I was like, essentially, a lot of women know that they can make a lot of money just by being attractive, going out and saying I'm a DJ.
Yes.
But that doesn't necessarily mean
make you a DJ.
Right.
There's actually a few Playboy Playmates. I haven't heard them spin, so I can't comment, but I would have to say, someone said, listen, and I think Sasha Grey, who was on Entourage, amongst other things.
Yes, she's now a DJ.
She's now a DJ. And you don't just become a DJ. You don't just like, all right, I'm going to DJ. My thing is, I've always wanted to be a DJ, ever since I was a little kid. And my father came home with a Night at Studio 54 album, mixed by Jelly Bean Benitez.
Oh my God, Jelly Bean was one of the guys that first produced Madonna.
Yes, so ever since I had that album, I mean, I don't know how old I was, but I was like, wow, I'm like, this is really cool. I'm like, I want to be a DJ. So it's always been a lifelong dream, but now a lot of people, more for business aspects like Sasha Grey. I don't want to comment because I never heard her spin, but I can't imagine that all of a sudden, she knows how to mix.
So how do you learn? Like, how would you be able to teach that, or how did you learn it?
I mean, the easiest thing was taking, and I always say this to every up-and-coming DJ, they're like, how do you learn how to mix? I'm like, the easiest thing is take two of the same record and try and mix them together. And you know what I mean? And if you have it, you have it. You can match, and it's an easier thing, because if you can't match two of the same record up, there's no hope for you.
I don't think I could do it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, how can I match Lionel Richie and Celine Dion?
Right.
You'd be like, no.
Yeah. So
no,
like yes, but the biggest thing is, be who you are. Believe in yourself. Don't let other DJs influence you, because a lot of DJs, if you're playing a certain record, they get on you. Oh, that's on the radio. You shouldn't be playing that. So there's a whole big war between what's the right way to play and what's the wrong way to play. My thing is, there is no right or wrong.
Do you have like a Notorious B.I.G. Tupac kind of thing going on in the industry where like DJs have rivalries?
Absolutely. Well, DJs are worse than high school girls.
Wow.
All right, that's how much they talk about each other.
That's fighting words. I'm not saying it, but
absolutely, it is. There's, I'm actually, I'm friends with 1 million DJs. You know what? But there's probably 10 million DJs out there that, maybe don't like me for whatever reason. Maybe successful, envious, whatever it may be. So
one person wrote out here, and that is DJing even considered a real profession, and I can just answer that as your friend, that when you make your living off of something, that's considered a real job.
Absolutely. I mean, still to this day, some of my family question, like, are you ever going to get a real job? I'm like, what have I been doing for the last 18 years?
You're like, how do you think I pay my mortgage or my bill?
Listen, my thing is, if you're getting paid for it, and that's your only source of income, and you can live off of that, it's a real profession.
Well, that's the whole thing. I think that people confuse jobs with having to be painfully boring or terrible or not enjoyable. But my mom always used to tell me that find what you love and the money will follow. Absolutely,
absolutely. I started this not for the money. I started it because I love to do it, and I don't do it now for the money. I do it because I love to do it. So there's a big difference there. And a lot of people actually think, just because you don't get up at 5 in the morning and take a train into the city.
You just work till 5 in the morning.
Yes, I just work till 5 in the morning. But I'm always tweeting when I'm spinning. I love my job. I love my job because people are having a good time. The booze, maybe one or two girls in the DJ booth, you know.
Can we talk about that? Because you're a good guy. You have a really good heart. And I know that you've been looking for the right girl to settle down with. Do you find your profession, like a rock star, like a touring musician, to almost hinder the ability to find the right kind of woman?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, there's, you know, the last relationship I was in, you know, she couldn't handle. She couldn't handle it. And I tried bringing her to the shows. Like, listen, there's nothing to hide.
Mm-hmm.
But she just couldn't handle it. There was so many women around, and it was a constant fight. And, you know, my thing is, you know, when you love someone, you trust them. And, you know, people think because you're in that party atmosphere, does it make it easier to maybe do something wrong? I mean, possibly, but I know plenty of people that I hear stories that are married, and, you know, maybe they're an attorney or an accountant. And you know what? They're doing more damage in a week than I could do in a month.
Well, this is the whole thing. I think it's not your profession that makes up who you are. I think it's what you do it has nothing to do with your actions. So I always say that if someone is a cheater, whether you're 5 miles away, 500 miles away, they're going to do that.
Absolutely.
If they're an attorney, a DJ, temptation is always around if you want it to be.
Absolutely.
And I think that if you have something you don't want to lose, then you're not going to be tempted.
Absolutely.
That's
I agree
my
with that. 1,000,000%.
feeling on it. Yeah, it could be hard. I could see that being a very difficult thing for any woman or man to accept.
Mm-hmm.
I think if the shoe was on the other foot, it would be difficult. But being a DJ and being obviously someone who's well known, you know, my question is, do you have to kind of like vet girls out and figure out what their intentions are with you?
Well, usually, you know, the last few people that I dated actually didn't even know who I was,
Mm-hmm.
like when we first met. So that was kind of like a good thing. So they get to know the real me.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's not like they met me, you know, and I was in the DJ booth and there was, you know, 10 girls up in the booth, and that's how they came up to me. So I think that's important for someone really not to know who I am at first.
Yeah.
And at least get the ball rolling, because then you see I'm a genuine, like I said, caring, and I am looking, you know, I'm at that point now where, you know, I want to have a family.
Yeah.
I want to be married and stuff like that. So, you know, we'll see what happens, but definitely, you know, it would definitely be tough to date a girl that I met who knew who I was, and you know what I mean? It's just...
and maybe it was caught up in the lifestyle or
yes.
that side of it. I think, you know, you were looking for someone who's just a little bit more like you. Just
yes.
more down to earth, grounded, all those kinds of things. Now, you work with a lot of vocalists, a lot of artists who sing on different tracks.
Yes.
I know there are a lot of people who would just love to be, what is that singer, Cascada or Cascada?
Cascada, yeah.
Yeah, how did she come to be? How does someone do that with a DJ like you? I know you used to do that more. I don't know if you're still...
Yes, no, absolutely. I just finished up a couple new tracks with some new artists, and like I said, you know, I mean, now in this day and age of with the internet, now YouTube, I mean, if someone was really that talented, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they could put something out there themselves, and then people can, you know, find them, you know what I mean? It's not about trying to chase people down like it was 10 years ago. People will find you. I mean, if you're that talented, and you know, like I said, it's nothing to set up a little camera like this. I mean, you know, put on a little performance. I mean, it doesn't have to be a major production. You know, I believe that girl who was singing the Lady Gaga songs, that little girl, this was like maybe about a year ago.
Oh, really?
She performed, I guess, Born This Way, playing the piano, and Lady Gaga saw it, and then she actually got to meet her. And brought her up on stage on one of the concerts.
Oh,
you know
that's
what I mean?
awesome.
Saying that she's very talented. So, you know, talent comes everywhere. But like I said, you know, between YouTube and the internet. I mean, but if anyone was really interested in working with me, they could find me on my website,
Mm-hmm.
on my Twitter page. You know, I reply back to everybody. You know, so who knows? If you're talented and looking to work with a producer, DJ like myself, reach out to me.
Well, the thing about dance music is that it's so powerful, and people tend to always think that it's pop music, it's R&B, but really, like, dance music is internationally more popular.
Right. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And now with people like David Guetta, you know, working with everybody, working with all the hip hop stars, you know, dance music is becoming mainstream in America.
Yeah.
You know, like it is overseas. And dance music just gives you that feeling. You know, when you go out and you want to dance, you know, you're not dancing to a rock song and you're really not dancing to a pop song. You're dancing to dance music.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that's why. And music, and people who love dance music, house music, they're very passionate about it. They live and die with it. You know what I mean? And now, with, like I said, with dance music getting so big and all these concerts and festivals going on, I mean, people are. Tiesto just did a 30,000 person show in LA last month, and Swedish House Mafia is playing next door in a few weeks at Madison Square Garden, and it's the first DJ event ever at Madison Square Garden. So that says a lot.
That says a lot how it's kind of moving, because it used to be where people would say like, well, that artist is huge in dance music in Europe. Right. Because their dance artists are considered like our pop stars.
Absolutely.
Like they're the biggest thing. And my friend actually, he's a producer and DJ, Joe Bermudez. Do you know Joe?
Yeah, of course I know Joe.
Joe just went on tour with David Guetta. I always say his name wrong.
David Guetta.
Yeah, Guetta and Akon, and they were in Africa and apparently like sold out every single show.
Right.
And it was really, really crazy and intense. And also artists like Lady Gaga too really utilize DJs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is really nice that they kind of incorporate all those things.
Right. I actually just saw Joe last week when I DJ'd up in Boston.
Oh, really?
And he's a great remixer. Producer, excellent.
He just produced and remixed. We did a cover of Hoobastank's The Reason, and I'm their vocalist. So it comes out in December.
Very nice. You have to give me a copy?
Oh, I will. So, I haven't heard it yet, so
okay.
I'm trusting them. Yeah.
And I'll play it on my, as everyone should know or hopefully knows, I'm on BPM, Sirius XM every Saturday night at 1 a.m. And I play nothing but the newest music every week. Something I look forward to, playing the new music for everyone. And it's a great show, and I'll definitely have your song on the show.
Yeah, I would love that. Thank you very much. Speaking of how to, I want to kind of get to how do you make a song? Like you do original tracks too, correct?
Yes.
So it's like a lot of the time DJs are also not songwriters. So your process is a little different. Do you have to find like a label to do that kind of stuff, or a publishing house? How does someone become a songwriter?
Well, anyone can write a song. I mean, like I said, especially now with websites like beatport.com, I mean, write a song, produce it. I mean, you don't even need a label to put out a song anymore, especially with the digital forum. It's so simple. You don't need that 10 years ago where you needed to shop a deal. And you had to go to Atlantic Records, you had to go to Warner Brothers or Sony. Now the independents really control the world, because a lot of these big dance songs, they start out on independents first, then a major comes in. Do
you even think you need a label anymore, or is it almost like where you're contained, like you can just go on iTunes and then the artist is essentially making the money directly?
Right, absolutely. You don't need a label. I would just make sure that if you're gonna write, produce your own music, that you have an attorney, you have everything copywritten, because the last thing you want to do is have something out there. And I'm actually shocked, a big producer called Avicii, Flow Rider literally took a sample from his newest record called Levels, and I mean, it's straight up the actual vocal of that record on the new Flow Rider. And a lot of people on Twitter, a lot of Diplo, and I know Tiesto.
Are they going to sue over that?
I mean, I would be suing. I mean, how you just taking, and it's the dance music is not like the hip hop community, where hip hop community, if you stole a sample, I mean, you'd worry about getting shot walking outside the building. I mean, that, because the hip hop community, Hot 97, they're very driven like that. They'll shoot you over taking a sample. Dance music, people are very happy and laid back, but you just still don't want someone stealing your work. I think that's
intellectual property infringement. That's not cool.
Absolutely.
We have Gabe from Los Angeles, and he says that Deadmus says he considers himself an electronic music artist, not a DJ. How do you consider yourself a DJ versus an electronic music artist? That's an interesting question.
Yeah, well, Deadmau5 is definitely, I've never heard him spin, but I would say he is an artist. And he's someone like, when he does his show, obviously, the Mouse Head and stuff like that, guys, someone like that, he's putting on the show, he's playing 90% of his original production. So, honestly, he's more of an artist than a DJ. You know what I mean?
Okay, because he's like a showman.
Yes, he's a showman, plus he's predominantly playing stuff that he produced. I mean, a Lady Gaga would go on stage, she's not going to sing a Madonna song, she's going to sing Lady Gaga songs.
Right.
But that's how Deadmau5 is. I mean, he'll play some of other people's tracks, but predominantly he plays all his original productions. So, yes, he's absolutely, he's an artist. He's not a DJ.
Okay, got you.
Even though he does DJ, if that makes sense.
No, that makes total sense. Oh, sorry. Jay from Pennsylvania, what top clubs do you go to?
Oh, let's see. I see he says you have spun at Starters Riverport. Yes. I've been at Starters in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. A great spot. And the funny thing is, with these secondary markets that everyone say, what's going on in Bethlehem? What's Providence, Columbus, Rochester? I'm like, trust me. I'm like, these smaller markets, I have more fun there than sometimes when I spend in the city. Because the mentality of people, they see a big name DJ come in and they just want to have a good time. Where, New York, it's like the old saying, like, what have you done for me lately? If you can make it in New York, you can make it any place. But New York, the entertainment choices in the city on any given weekend are endless.
Yeah.
There's always someone big in town, and now with all the big international DJs literally invading here, playing, clubs like Pasha every weekend, there's just so much choice. So people, New York people are spoiled. It's like going back to the Yankees.
I saw you spin a Pasha once.
Yes,
I came, it was
yes,
a couple
it was
years
a great
ago.
time.
But
So people's mentality, like with the Yankees, if the Yankees don't win a World Series every year, they're disappointed. But with the New York team, when I go to these small markets, they really don't get the really big name DJs. So when I go to these Providences, Columbus, or Bethlehems, people are like, oh my God, Louie Divito, they're thanking me for coming now. I'm like, well, thank you for having me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
So, so it's a very good question.
It is a good question. I also was curious, what is your favorite place to play? Like club-wise, state-wise, or country?
Country, I mean, I've been to Ibiza, well, they say Ibiza 3 times at Pasha over there, and that was just, that's the equivalent of playing center field for the Yankees. I mean, that is the club mecca of the world. 5,000 people. I mean, just the energy and the vibe there was just beyond anything I could ever imagine.
Do they give you like security because it's so crazy, or are you like in there, out there?
Well,
exposed?
you know what? Yeah, they just they treat their DJs like rock stars. You know what I mean? So it's just like that feeling, like I mean, now I can know it like Paul McCartney felt when he was a Beatle. 40 years ago, like just walking through, and people just they gravitate towards you, and that's by far was Pasha or Ibiza. I mean, nothing has even come close, and that's more to do like wow, like you're in that booth and the biggest DJs in the world. I mean, David Guetta has a weekly party, Swedish House Mafia, Eric Murillo, like all guys that I look up to.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So like to be in that same booth that these guys play every night was just the best feeling in the world.
So pretty much you're on tour all the time. Do you ever have like downtime? Do you ever go on a hiatus where you're just like no more traveling, no more touring?
You know what? No. Because when I'm not DJing, like during the week, like, during the week, my Mondays, Tuesdays, that's my downtime.
Yeah.
That's when there's nothing going on. I could sleep in, and that's my weekend. But as far as the weekends are concerned, like we're actually doing a whole big radio show tour for the new Dance Mix USA CD, and I think they have like 18 cities booked.
Wow.
And I'm like, you know what? I said, I'm a single guy. I have no family. Let me do it now when I can just get up, and if I have to live out of a suitcase for 2 months straight,
You can.
I can do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there'll be that one day you're married with a family. You might not want to do it. It might not be that easy to do it.
Oh, this is so funny. Someone wrote, Raymond in Chicago said, ever think of DJing on Paltalk so we can have a huge party online? That's funny that you said that, because Louie and I are working on something for Paltalk that we will let you guys know when it's the proper time.
Absolutely. That would definitely be a fun time.
Yeah.
To spin live, and for everybody on Paltalk and see what's going on.
Yeah, no, that would definitely be fun, and you can take us throughout the world on your adventures.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, we're running out of time, so I want to make sure that everyone knows where to pick up your new album, which is, I believe,
Dance Mix USA Volume 2, mixed by me. Best Buy, Target, Walmart. It's on iTunes, and it's also on djlouiedivito.com, and also on my new website. If you become an In the VIP member, you receive a free CD of your
Nice.
choice, not the new one, but
Anything you
I
want.
have over 20 CDs, so a free CD of your choice, and you receive each of my weekly mix shows on satellite radio, BPM, for free. So you receive every mix show each week and a free CD of your choice if you join In the VIP on djlouiedivito.com.
That's awesome. And also Twitter, you guys can check out Louie Divito as well. And what are a couple of the tracks that are on your new album?
I mean, we have the new Britney Spears, we have Lady Gaga, we have Kesha, just to name a few, and then my favorite is a song called "Stronger" by Eric Morillo, he's like my all-time favorite DJ
cool.
slash producer, and it's called "Stronger." And by Shawnee Taylor. She's also on Twitter. I love her to death. She has an amazing voice. I've been tweeting her. We've been going back and forth, so hopefully I'm going to be working with her real soon.
Very cool.
And just a very deep, soulful voice. I mean, she is house music. I mean, it's just a great thing. So that's my favorite track on the CD. Amongst the other ones had to be a little bit more, a little dance friendly. Where the end of the CD is more house. A little bit maybe underground style sound. So, but it's a great CD, so I would suggest you pick it up.
Well, congratulations again on your now 20th album, I want to say?
I think it's 23.
Okay, 23rd album. Congratulations on that.
Thank you,
Pick
Diana.
up the new one. You can check that on Twitter, Louie Divito, or go to djlouiedivito.com, where you can also be a VIP member and get a free CD as well. Always fun to see you.
Great seeing you, and you look spectacular as always.
Oh God, yeah. Well, thank you you guys very much, and we will keep you guys updated about the new news about DJ Louie Divito possibly becoming a member of the Paltalk family. So we will see you guys real soon next week. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.